Okay, you can go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I also have some things to go over before we start. And I just got this little notebook full of stuff, so I'll just go through it. On all my pictures, obviously, they're very personal to me. So when I go to design a page, I've got pictures in mind that I want to use. One thing I want to be cautious and put out there for you guys is you don't feel you have to put the size of picture that I put on here. You can put on whatever size of picture you want and whatever sayings you want. So this time I thought, instead of teaching this page is looking like this page, I thought that we would do the background, which is the most important thing, because you guys can put on whatever pictures you want in whatever order you want. So that's kind of how we're going to go about it today. We're going to choose the background. Don't feel you have to put these embellishments on or the sayings that I put on. You know, I put them on for a reason, personally for me. But I mean, you might have this. I have this squishy baby that's 25 pounds of squishiness. And I mean, you can put the word squeeze and then put pictures of you hugging your friends or your family photos or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to tell you what is a new product, and you guys will love it. You'll all have to get some. So it comes as this pack of sizes for pictures. So I bought the pack and thought, I'm not sure I'll use it. And I labeled each one. So this is a 4x6. So now what I can do is, once I have my background figured out, I can kind of look at my pictures that I know I want to put on there. And now I can determine that I can cut some of the picture away because this little picture fits right here and that's where I want to put it. So I know that I want to put a 4x4 there. I cut out the picture. And I mean, obviously we know what these ones are, 4x6. But so this comes in many, like it comes with it comes with 5 different sizes. And they are a lifesaver. Now you can change the size of pictures you want to put around. So these are relatively new. I know that Teresa or Corrine has taught with these before, but these come separately. And they're $6 if you want a set. I believe they're sold out, but Teresa and Corrine will take names. So you can phone Corrine about these, because these will help you with your pictures. So I just wanted to tell you about that. And the other thing I thought I'd do this time is I talked about not worrying about the dimensionals, because you can always go back and do those on your own. You can cut these the photo mats if you want, or you can save that and do that later and figure out, because you've all got the pictures of what this looks like. And you can figure out your dimensionals. So that's it with how we're going to go with these. We're going to do each page separately, and I'll show you where to cut things out from. The other thing I'm going to quickly do is show you a few of the Christmas ones that are coming out. So this, I'm not sure what the series is called. It's the next Christmas one anyways. It's called, just hold it. It's this one right here. Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Rustic Christmas. So in the package, you're going to get this. A little too far. You're going to get the cardboard stickers. You're going to get the stick-on foam stickers, and you're going to get the cardboard cluster paper and extra paper for the backgrounds. And then she's also throwing in the page pieces, which aren't used in this, but you can create more pages. And then if you really, that's going to come in your kit. And for $55 plus tax. And then if you want, you can purchase this, which is a page kit, which also has more designs. And it's $22, $22.50 actually. And you can use this with it, or you can just use this alone and not buy this. Anyways, this is a great deal. So if you're interested in that, that class is November 27th, and I think there's limited spots left in it.
I want to text today.
So you want to text today. So I'm just going to give you like a quick preview. So we got the Believe page. We've got a double page. We got some more single pages. We got Let's Believe in Santa Claus. So I'm just kind of going quickly. It's just kind of a run through. We got another double page. And we got another page. So that is what the Christmas one looks like. We're also going to, after that, it's still designing, so I don't have that one. It's going to be Welcome Winter, and that is January 15th. And there's Welcome Winter. It's in blues and greens and blacks. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that one, there's very limited spots. We don't know what the price of it's going to be. It's going to come with this plus extra paper. We don't know all the details about it except the date, which is January 15th. Very limited spots already because some are already sold. So all of those you can phone Corrine at 694-0700. And another thing, I'll just tell you quickly, if you ever need to get a hold of me because you took my class and you just didn't get whatever I was saying, I don't have a landline anymore. So I'll just give you if you want my cell number, it's 630-8898. And if you get my daughter or son, ask them for the right number, because our numbers are like one number apart. Sometimes I give people the wrong number, but I think that's it. So I think that's all I needed to talk to you guys about. So let's start with the first page. You can take out, just to move that about. You want to take out your background, which is 15217 Lagoon Cloud. So we'll just cut the top off of that. Let me get my cutter out here. So we'll just take that top off, and don't throw any of these information tops. Don't throw them away ever until you're finished doing the book, because a lot of times I use that. And you'll want to be looking for that. Okay, so we'll take that one off. I'll put that aside in case I need it. Okay, so you've got that. So then we're going to take a look at Lagoon, or that's Lagoon. Now we're going to take out Happy Thoughts. And I kind of pre-cut this so I could show you how to do this. So you're going to cut this Happy Thoughts on this side, and you see this would have gone across the top. Do you see that? So you're going to cut this. This is going to be this part here is going to be the 9 by 11. So if you look at your picture, you're going to cut it off. I'll just pretend this is it. You're going to cut that right out of there, right there, across there at 11, or at 9, and down here at 11. And you're going to leave this piece together at the top. And that's going to be, that is going to, sorry, I'm losing my thought here. That is going to be used on the side when we put it together. So you're going to cut that piece off, and then you're going to turn it, and you just cut it off right there. So you're going to have that piece, which is going to be 7.5 by 1.5. So you're going to actually use the piece that tells you what the paper's made of, or what the paper is called. And so basically that one cut, or those couple cuts on there, form the background. So you've got this piece sitting here. You take this piece, which you're going to cut off, right, like that. And then it inverts and goes right here. So already, that's all I needed on that page. So I'm going to build my page on this. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to get those cut, and we'll get that on the page. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop talking. And well, of course, I'll never stop talking, but I'm going to tape these. Okay, I got to tell you guys, I did try to talk these guys into letting you talk, because I really hate just talking to myself. I just feel that I like to listen to people's stories and everything else. So I can't remember whether when we started this class, whether I had another new grandbaby, but I do. I have baby Rhett now. He's actually 9 months. Total opposite of the other one. He's a joy. Not that my other one isn't either, but he's a little handful sometimes. So it keeps us busy. I have to think of what else is new in my life since I saw you guys. Oh my goodness. My son got engaged. So you know I'm going to have a lot of scrapbooking to do with that. He got engaged to a girl named Ty Bittner. They went to school together. They've been together for 13 years, and he finally got her together. And oh, I'm going to edge it now too. That's a personal thing, guys. If you don't want to edge, don't do it. It's whatever you want to do with that. So I knew they were finally, I mean, they bought a house together a number of years ago, and I knew they'd finally get engaged. I just thought it would be quicker than this. And I knew that my future daughter-in-law wanted to be surprised when she got engaged. So she's a nurse, and in the summer, she teaches nursing. So in the summer, she goes and works in different places. So she went to the Yukon to work for a couple weeks this summer. And my son had come home to visit and said, well, I'm only visiting for one day because I'm going to go fishing up north. So I believed him. And 2 nights later, about midnight, we get a phone call. And they're engaged, and my son is in the Yukon. So he went up there, scoped out where she worked and when she'd get off, and he texted her, and they were talking, and he was asking, like, describe where you are, like, what are you doing, what's the, like, how fast is the river flowing over where you are, or an ocean, I don't know what it is. And she turned around because she heard a noise, and when she turned back to tell him, he was down on one knee proposing. So we were all quite happy and excited. So now you know that I'm going to have a lot of stuff to scrapbook. So there you go, guys. That is what that page is ready to do. So one of the things I do is when I tape it all 4 sides. Teresa says I always use way too much tape, but that's what I feel comfortable doing. And I eyeball that. I always just hold it in place and take off the one piece of tape, because if I've got to take that off because I've done it crooked, then I'm only taking off one piece. So I'm going to put on 3 sides. I'm going to tuck this piece under now before I take off, or put that side in. I go up a little bit. You know what? I'm just going to tuck that right beside, then I'll have it straight. There you go. I will take off this side. This side. There we go. So that's the background of that page complete. I pre-cut my I have no words. I don't know. I'm turning 60. I can't remember what these things are called. My mats. I have Corinne helping me out with my language. And
It's my profession.
yes, that's right. She teaches people how to talk. So obviously, so that's how my mats are going to look. And I'm doing these pages for Teresa. So I'm not going to put these mats on for her because I don't know what she's doing with them either. So if it were mine, once again, I'm doing this for, who's in the corner? Gail, because she can't find. Oh, did you find your stuff? Okay, well, anyways, I put squeeze up here. I've got squeeze me down here. I've got squeezable down here. I think I got it. Be happy. I've taken birds off, or butterflies. This is one of the stickers. What are these? The foam stickers right here. No, it isn't. Oh. It's not. It's off of, it's right off of here. And the one thing I do, I mean, you don't have to do this, is what I always have a thing of not icing sugar. What is it?
Baking powder.
No, cornstarch. I have a cornstarch container in my scrapbooking room with paintbrush in it. And I unstick all my stickers because I never know where I'm going to put them on the page. So I unstick them so I can play around with them. And then I either put dimensionals on the back, which I've done with this one. And if I know that I'm going to stick it down, then I don't put it on. But like this, I might have played around with it somewhere. And then I just put dimensionals on it, or I put Suquang and put them where I want, just because I need that extra time to figure out where I'm putting it. So if everybody's ready and you're okay with me going on, I can give you a few minutes and then we'll start the next page. And so this is what I'm doing, is I'm just going to put anything that I want to put together when I figure out what I'm going to put with it later on. And I'm just going to put it together like that and put it away, and Teresa can finish it off how she would like to. Okay, are you ready to just pop on to the next one? So our next one is a double layout. Let's see if I can get it in there. Well, I can sort of get it in there. There's the first, well, you have a picture of it. There's the first side. That's the first side. This is the second side. So, you cut off this piece of paper off the first one. There was a little piece left. We're using that on this page. So make sure you have that handy. And we are going to cut. We're going to take this item 15206, so sweet. And we are going to cut on it. So you got your black cardstock for your background, and you're going to use yellow cardstock for cutting all of your mats. And once again, this is probably one you really don't want to cut your mats for right now, because it's a lot of space. You can probably put a lot of pictures in there. So let's go ahead and cut the information part off. There we go. Okay, so I want to remember that that's my top. So this page, we're going to cut it in half. I just find it simpler to do it this way. 12 by 12, we're going to make the first cut. Okay, you could do it two ways. I'm going to tell you this way, is you cut it 6 by 6 or 6 by 12. So I'm going to cut it halfway. And then I'm going to take the paper and I'm going to cut off an inch on this piece and then an inch off this piece. And the reason I do it that way is because when you smush it together, and I'm kind of anal about this, my plaids are going to match in the middle. So if you ever put the pages, I mean, in a scrapbooking book, they're never going to be touching each other, but you know, you'll know in your own mind that they match. So you're going to cut that piece across, take that out, and then push this one through and take off that 1 inch over here. This is your 1 by 12. And I set that apart, and then I put this one in and I take it off of the edge. And I've got that piece cut right there. So I'm just gonna take that away. So that is, you know, I'm gonna push it up here. I'll lay out my backgrounds. So this piece goes in the center. This piece goes in the center like that. This piece goes on the edge. This piece goes on this edge. There you go. So now this here, this is the other piece that is going to form. I'll show you again. This is going to be, I'm going to take this piece, cut it in half, and it's going to lay in here, and the other half is going to lay over here. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, well, first of all, let's cut this. So cut your top off. There it is. And then you're going to cut this piece in half. So it's 3 inches, so you're going to cut it at 1.5 inches. 1.5. I'm just having a mental block there. Yeah, 1.5 inches. So now you'll have a piece 12 inches by 1.5. I'm just checking my notes so I have the right size, I'm telling you. So then so I cut that in half. And I've got those two pieces. Now, if you look at what I've done, when I did these pieces, you can easily just rip them. Or if you've got any kind of edging tools, you can use that. So if you want to wait, you can wait. I'm just going to tell you, when I edged it with a little bit of a scallop, when I finished, I realized you couldn't really see that too much. So I'm not sure it makes a big enough difference to worry about it. If you want to wait and put it on later, you can, but otherwise it's just it's gonna pop in here. I popped it in so that I could see an edge, and everybody's might be a little bit different, but I'm gonna pop mine in right about there on both sides so that they kind of look even. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to tape. First of all, I'm going to ink and then tape. So I'll stop talking, give you guys a break while I ink this. Okay, and I am still, by the way, using, I gotta look, can't even see it, ground espresso. It's kind of the one I use a lot. It's a lot of ink and ink, all these little parts here. So we had some, I gotta talk, I gotta tell you what's happening. So we had changes in our life this year because Keith decided after 35 years he was going to retire. So I wasn't sure how this was going to go because he doesn't really have like lots of hobbies, except he really, really, really likes to upholster. So as we're doing this right now, he's supposed to be making our daughter cushions for beside her fireplace. So he's become really good friends with the lady that teaches us, who happens to be 82 years old, Gwen. He was supposed to be doing that today at the Kinsman, but there wasn't enough people signed up for the class, so they canceled the class, and Keith was in kind of a panic because one of the things he needed to learn to do was put in zippers properly. So Gwen phoned him and said, well, the class has been canceled, but you can sign up for the next one. And he said, well, I can't because I thought I was retired, but gee, they phoned me and they offered me a position at Mortlack. He says, and it's been on my bucket list to do my whole career in teaching. And he said, I never got to teach at Mortlack. Well, now Keith is teaching at Mortlack until the end of June. So his time is now taken up again, but he loves it out there. He says, he says it's just a gorgeous little, well, it's kind of a big school, but they only have under 80 kids there. He says, I've never had a classroom with 17 kids in his whole teaching career. So he is terribly happy out there. And I'm glad he's not sitting around my house because I still have my daycare. And by the way, I'm just taping those pieces in place as we talk. Or as I talk, sorry. So Gwen's, he says, I can't do it the next class because I'm going to be writing report cards. Well, Gwen says, what are you doing today? He says, well, I'm going to work on report cards. She says, well, I'll come over and I'll teach you how to put that stuff in. So before I left, they were cut material and she was showing them how to sew in the zippers into these cushions. So I'm hoping by the time I get home, I have cushions. Well, they're not my cushions. They're for Katie's new house. For her, they had benches put in beside their fireplace. And now she'll have cushions. So I told Keith, you got to take pictures because you know I'm going to have to scrapbook that and I won't be there to be taking pictures. So I got the perfect paper here last night. There's a new paper series. Teresa just brought it in. Corinne, do you know what that one is called? That I don't have it here. Welcome home, maybe, or
That's the word gather.
Gather.
Yeah.
Well, gather at home. I don't know. Anyways, it's got beautiful colors in it. It's got like a mint green. It is absolutely gorgeous. And she had it here when I came last night to set things up. And I said, that is the perfect paper. So going back to my son's engagement, he obviously has watched me over the years, taking pictures of everything. And after the engagement, my future daughter-in-law sent me the pictures he had taken, and it was absolutely beautiful. He made the ring box because he loves wood, and he made the ring box. And he had this picture, it was cry-worthy. He had taken his suitcase, he had it packed by the door, and sitting on top of the suitcase was the ring. He had that by the door, so he took a picture of that. And then when he went to bed, he had taken a picture of his side table, and on his side table was the ring open in the box, and his other two things that are our prized possessions in his life. He was very close to my dad. And when my dad passed away, they had, I'm sure you guys have all seen these where they do the fingerprint. And my nieces made him his own little fingerprint of my dad. And so he wears that when he's not at work. So that was sitting beside it. And then he's an engineer. And so his engineering ring was sitting there. And I thought, wow, right now, those are the most prized possessions he owns. And so he had taken a picture of that. And then I have pictures of them after he proposed. And it just happened to be that this old lady was walking by and she said, well, you guys just need pictures taken. And so she just started putting them in different poses and taking pictures. And I have all those pictures. So I'm really, really excited to put that to paper.
So it's the collection kit that the people that are in the layout and the card kit club, they have that paper for the club.
That is what I'm going to use. We won't be teaching that one.
No.
But maybe I'll be done and I can show you guys and brag. Okay, so I'm going to put my inside pieces on. And see, when I put these two pieces, when I get that on there, see how that's just going to match and come together? I love it. It's my thing. I just love it when that works. So you'll notice I didn't bother taking anything or doing anything to the edges, but like I say, you can rip it, you can use whatever edger you have if you want to make it a little fancier. You know, with any of the pages that I do, don't feel that you need to keep up with me. And if you want to do different things with edges of paper or whatever, feel free to do that, because I think that I've made the instructions really easy. And like I say, you can always give me a call if you don't understand what I was trying to say. So on this side, I'm just going to match up with this line that we know is straight, right there. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but sometimes I put that on and I am sure it's touching at the top. And sometimes when I'm finished the page, I'm ending up cutting off a little, like just this little tiny, I don't know if you can, I guess you can't see it on there because it's
closer to the camera.
Can I hold it up? Yeah, see that little edge? Why is that there? Because I got that edge right up as far as I can go up here. So I don't know why that is, but I end up putting that through the thing afterwards to get it, the cutter. And does anybody else have this problem? Because this is, I was talking to someone that's said they were inching close to 60 and I said, I am too. And now I sometimes don't have words. I know what I'm talking about and it's on my mind and I just don't know. And I'll be talking to Keith about things and he'll say, could you just use the right word? And I said, you know, if I knew the word, I'd tell you the word, but I just can't think of what that word is right now. Anyways, so we are right at the point where, once again, I'm going to show you back here and you can see it in there. We've got photo mats. Those photo mats can be cut whatever way you want. Put whatever sayings you want on this. We had spent the day at the farm with my niece and all her children and cousins. This particular cutout is on, let me think, it's written right on here, but it is, I tried to organize these two for you guys in my head. Yeah, this is journal elements, but I'm just trying to figure out, 15 to 11. So it's the journal elements, and it's this one right in here, this corner that goes on here. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna cut that out. Put it on there. Like I say, if you don't want to use that journal elements, like choose which one you want to use. And with this paper, I believe I used up just about everything on it, but there's a lot of journal elements left. So if you guys are card makers, which I am not, but I am doing a set of creams right now because my mother thinks those are great things that I should just make her cards. So I bought creams kits and I'm going through them, making her cards. Pardon?
They can be bought in the store.
Or you can, yeah, you can buy those card making kits in the store.
In Dominique or
In Dalmany or Moose Jaw. So there it is. That goes there. There's stickers on your sticker sheet. On your sticker sheet, I used this one up at the top corner that said "Be kind." I believe I used dimensionals on it. I put a butterfly on from here, right here. I used dimensionals on it. Put a few of the hearts from on here, the foam hearts. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to put that right there. And let me see. I cut out all the mats. So so I've got all this space. I know that this is going to go here. And that's, other than that, I have that saying here. But these are all the mats I had. So what I was saying about putting your mats however you want them, like these are what fit for me. Like, so if you want to do it like this, put a small one in here, like that works. I mean, you don't even have to put a saying on it. You could line them up. Let's see, how could we work this? We could do this. We could maybe put that one there. We could put that there. And we could have a saying down here. Do you know what I mean? Like, and what helped me do that was these little things that I think are like wonderful. Like that to me is my favorite new thing, other than this, because I really like this. It's the stacker. You see that? Can you see that? And you keep your tape on here. So my tape is always really handy, and I try really hard to put it back there at the end of the night. And I have, you know, my scissors and stuff in it. I love that. So you see, that's how this one is looking, guys. So I'm just going to put this on. Once again, I'm not going to put my mats on for Teresa because she will put things where she wants to put them on here. So once again, I'm just going to end this one. I'm going to give you some time now. If you want to play around with your mats, or you want to, if you're still cutting or putting the background on. But basically what I'm showing you and what I'm trying to get across is, don't feel you have to copy my page. You can copy the background, because that makes it a lot easier to put photos on once you have your background done. I try to do a complete layout every night. And sometimes just the laying out of the paper or figuring out in my head, like how do I want to do this? Where do I want to put things? How can I fit these 6 pictures that I really want to get in this page on the page? And so I usually go down at 7 o'clock every evening and I come up by 10:30. That's my goal. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Is that good? Okay, I'm gonna shove that little thing on. There we go. I'm gonna leave all the other words off for Teresa to figure out. So once again, I'm just going to pop all those. And I usually always do my mats the size that the picture is plus 1/4 of an inch on either side. And as we're cutting these out, I'm not necessarily following the way I say on here. I'm just sort of getting you through all the cutouts on there, and then, so it might be in a different order than I have written on there, but this order works. This is. Okay, so I'm going to give you time and I'm going to set up for the next layout. Okay. Okay, let's go to our next layout. So this layout is so super simple, like you're wondering why you're taking a class. But sometimes they're a little challenging when you get a piece of paper that has all this busyness already on, which is great because you don't have to create that then because it's already there. So this is what I did. I left it there. I cut you out a doily that was as close as I could get to this because I don't have this one. Made some mats, added some stuff. Zoom, we're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, I believe it's the top half, so the header right there, which is a 1/2 inch. We're going to cut across there and then flip your paper and cut off a 1/2 inch this way. So that basically we've made it smaller and it'll sit inside the black paper and give it a nice outline. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was telling Corrine, when I've taken classes, when Teresa and I have gone to the States to buy paper, it's always amazed. You watch the people around, you think, how did they get that? How did they get that stuff done so fast? And I realized I didn't have to carry on like them. I could do the best I could do, put it aside because the directions are there. Don't stress about it. You can always go back. But one of the most challenging classes and I've taken them a number of times are, Corrine, help me out. It's busy, Graphic 45. and they make the books. And they teach fast, but when they're making the books, every section of the book is exactly the same. So they get you through one section and they say, okay, class is over. And now you go and finish making this. So it's a little bit of a challenge. So that's why I'm just trying to say it's okay. Like if you don't quite get it done, the directions are there. You got my phone number, you can phone. They don't give us their phone number, by the way. And it'll all be okay. And whatever you do is going to be perfect. So I'm going to cut that off, that header. I'm going to save it because you never know. I might use that piece again. I'm going to invert it. And by the way, you do use it again. And I'm going to take off, see if you measure that. It's the 1/2 inch. So you're going to take off another 1/2 inch off of one side. That aside. And now if you look at, there's your black piece of paper. You put that in the center. Well, I don't know why mine isn't fitting, guys. I'll just trim it some more. I probably talked too much there. That's weird. You know what? It's because I took the header off and then I cut off a 1/2 inch. That's what you're supposed to do. What? That's why it fits in there. So you take the header off and then measure 1/2 inch in. So there you go. It's going to fit in just like that. I myself am going to ink it because that's what I do. So I'm going to tape it. Okay, so I've got it inked, I've got it taped. And now I'm going to try to get it in the middle, and notice I only took the tape off of one side so I could kind of center that. There, that's going to fit. So this fall, I got Tim Holtz's, as you know, all you guys know, I love Tim Holtz's stuff. But I always try to incorporate in my scrapbooking pages, not in just all the little things they make. So I got the new leaves that I'm not sure what it's called, but they're leaves that kind of have holes cut out of them in random shapes, like the leaf had been sitting on the ground for a while and it started to break apart. So that's what the leaves look like. So I had this picture of my daughter and her husband and their first child that was taken in the fall, and the pictures were just gorgeous. And the picture focused on mainly their faces and the upper body. And so I sat down and I took out all of my leaf dies and I colored paper. I took beige paper, or I guess sort of an ecru colored paper, and I smushed distress ink in the colors of all the fall leaves, and I just smushed it all over. And I sprayed it and I dragged all my paper through, let it dry. And then I literally cut out 100 different kinds of leaves. And I think that picture's going on the website at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching it, it's a lot of work, but I would have to say I'm the most proudest of it because I took that picture and I centered it, and I have these leaves kind of make a sunburst all the way around in all these colors and all different types. It's just, I'm so proud of that page, but I'm not teaching it, but I've told you how to do it because man, that was fabulous. Okay, so not me bragging more about something you can't even see. You know, I told you you're going to use this piece of paper. You've actually got a couple of them, but you just need a piece that is 5.5 inches by 1/2 inch. So I think that this little edge piece that has the writing on it is 5, and we can cut that at 5.5 inches right there. There we go. If you haven't cut your mats yet, your yellow mats from the previous page, you probably don't have this yellow piece yet, but if you cut your mats, you've got a lot of yellow paper in your thing. You need to cut a piece that is 4.5 by 1 inch. And then I've got my mats, which I've cut. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to ink the yellow. So this is from cutting mats. And then you've got this one that you cut off the top, or one of the pieces that you cut off the sides. And you are going to take those. Green piece. This sits underneath it. I'll do this over here because so I've got that piece ready to put on. I'm going to put it. There, I've put in your kit one of these. So you just, I put mine on a sticker sheet, like a sticker. I went through the machine, sorry. And you pop that over there. Presto bangle, you got a page. So once again, I chose this size of mats. You can choose whatever you want. You could put some here, you could put some here, you could take your little, let me see what else we could do here. Take my little things. So look at, you could put a 3x3 there, a 3x3 there. You could then, so that was taking up that part of the page. You can, because you don't have to, you can move this mat down. You could put a 4x6 there. See, in mine, I put the 4x6 and then I put an odd size down here because I didn't want to cut my head off. But then you see my ugly hands. So I tried to not put those in, but anyways, I had to get the squishy baby in there. So what I'm saying is, please, please, please don't think you have to copy what size pictures I put. Look at that. You can put a 4x3 and you can put a 3x2. And then you could put a 4x4 right there. That's a fabulous layout. Like if you put those three, you can't see those very good, but trust me, that's a 4x4, a 3x2, and a 3x4. So once again, if you want to hang on to your mats and not cut them till later, that'd be a good idea. And you might want to order these little things.
The text.
Give Karina text. Okay, guys, we've done another one. I should show you what I put on mine. So I've got the dimensional stickers, the foam sticker. And oh, I used one of the little, I call them little license plates. And this one says, love this. And I thought this one was quite neat. So it says sweetest, and then right down here in it says sweet moments. Like I thought that was all pretty fitting there. So we're down another one, guys. We are just chugging right along here.
Do another one and take a break.
Did you hear that? We're going to do one more and then you can all run and go pee. Guys, after this is done, I sure wouldn't mind, and you could pass this on to Karine, what you think would be easier, what would, if there's some way I could make it easier for you guys to follow things. I'm hoping that this works because I really, I've lost it. I've really tried to figure, like, what way would I be able to, if I was taking the class, how could it make it easier for me? Okay. Oh my gosh, if you thought that one was easy, this is just a little bit easier. Because once again, we have this absolutely beautiful piece of paper, but what do you do with it? You don't want to, like, I couldn't figure out, you don't want to wreck this, you don't want to cut it apart, like it is absolutely beautiful as it sits. So I decided not to cut it apart. And I went through my pictures, because you know I got thousands of hundreds. I never go up to, I just go to Walmart and print mine. And I also have a little printer at home, but I never come out of there with under 100 pictures printed. So I have hordes of pictures. So this one I named Best Ever. And this happens to be my son and his girlfriend. She was in a wedding, oh, sorry, fiance now. She calls herself the partner. I don't know. They weren't engaged here, but she was in a wedding party this summer. Actually, funny story. The wedding took place a year ago, but during COVID, so they did it by themselves. And then they decided they needed to have a party and have all the bridesmaids. And this was the bridesmaid gown. Anyways, this is so simple. I'm embarrassed sometimes. It's so simple. So all I did was I cut 2 mats, as you can see. I took this little Fiskars knife, and not everybody has this, I'm sure, but you can just use scissors. And I literally cut with this X-Acto. I guess it's like an X-Acto knife. I just cut around this leaf, and I cut it from about here, halfway through this leaf, here, all the way up and around, And if you cut it too far, it doesn't matter. So I cut that so that I could slide the picture under. And by the time you do that, you're almost finished doing it. So I'm going to cut this. I'm afraid to cut on here. If I cut down here.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm not going to cut it on here because I don't want to cut it into Teresa's table. But I'm going to give you time to cut that little piece. And if you can't do it now because you need some tool, and it would be an X-Acto knife, you know what? I'm going to do it with my scissors because you can do it with your scissors. I'm just going to make a cut in it. And then I'm just going to use my scissors. So we can improvise this. You have to kind of go slow, not put your scissors in very far because you can't get them in. A little bit tricky like this, but it can be done. It's not as easy this way, guys, but it will work. There. Yeah. Not too shabby, guys. I'm just going to ink that a little bit so that I don't see that little edge. There. Perfect. Okay, so I cut that out. I'm going to cut off the header. There to save. So I cut that out. I cut out the two mats. One photo mat is the Sunshine and Ocean, which is this one. And that's at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, which is a standard size picture. That is scrap pieces from a previous layout. So you would have used that in layout number 2. So you should find that's a scrap piece that you have. And then you're going to cut out a yellow photo mat type thing, 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to put these together. I'm going to kind of mush them together like this. I'm going to put the photo on this. I'm going to ink it, edge it, and you literally slide it under that leaf so that it kind of becomes part of it, like that. Look at it, fits in just beside this guy's nose, this bird. So that goes like that. You'll notice down in the corner, there's a little bird. Now I cut that out of, if you're looking at these instructions, I made an error. It says fussy cut the bird, and then it says 15 to 11 journal elements. And then in brackets, it says don't throw away scraps from this because you're going to use it. That's wrong. Just stroke that out. This is wrong. Because I went back to check everything out and I thought, well, I know that that's not how that works, but somewhere along the line I confused it. So the bird is on 15 to 11, the journal elements, and it's this one right here in the corner. So all I did was I cut that out, this one right here. I cut that little journal element out. And you've got time, so if you want to fussy cut that, you can do that. And that little bird is, I added dimensionals to it and put it right there in the corner. So I'm going to do that because I have time while you guys are cutting out mats. And you know what, this one here, as I've been telling you, put your pictures wherever. This one, I'm not sure I'd put a whole bunch of pictures on here because then you're going to cover up all that beautiful paper. But once again, it's yours. And if you want, you know, you could probably put two smaller pictures, but I keep the pictures in the center because like you got this beauty and this beauty. So you might be able to get away with a 4 by 4 and a 4 by 4 on there, which I think that would work. Now, I remember when I started scrapbooking with Teresa, and there was a lady in there, and she could cut these things out. And I couldn't cut out these things to save my soul. I just couldn't get them right. And she used to cut out all my pieces for me. She was good. What was Joanne? Joanne cut out all my. So that one I used dimensionals behind for sure. Pardon? Yeah, these are the dimensionals I'm putting on here. And once again, Teresa tells me I use way too many dimensionals. But there's tons at the store. So, I mean, I probably would put on those two big ones, and then I'd go back and I would find these little ones, because she says, you only need 2. And I said, well, I think I need 4. And yeah, I overuse dimensionals. And so I just kind of fit that in like he was perched on a little thing, a little tree leaf. So I'm going to put that in there. Right down in there. And I am just going to ink these. I got to tell you, this, my little brush here, I think I need to get a new one. You can tell when you've overused it when you're inking and little pieces are falling off your phone. So I keep having to take those off. I'm going to. Okay, guys, I'm just going to finish this up. Once again, it's just mats that you put on. On the original, I put the words "You Make Life Sweeter," and I put "Best Ever." Choose what you want to put according to your pictures. Choose whatever you want to put down here. This here, "Life is Sweeter," came from Elements 15:2:12. So I think that's this one right here. Right here in the corner. "You Make Life Sweeter." I just cut those out. I fussy cutted those out, and I just put them on here on the bottom. So that's it, guys. We're going to take a break. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so we will see you
In 5 minutes.
in 5 minutes, apparently. Okay, guys, you're back for another couple layouts. Okay, this one is called "Be Kind." So this is like we are using this. This is what I thought of when I was doing this. I used this. These are another set of the mats, the templates. So I basically, these are great to have. And this is how they come. There's a video on is it YouTube?
Yeah.
So you go on
website.
You go on the website, and Corinne has done a video of how to use all these and how simple they are, because these are made to make your picture scrapbooking simpler. So they come, you buy that, and you can buy these are the packages, right?
Simple pieces.
The simple pieces that they kind of go together. So if you're doing a layout and you have a piece of red paper, you can put this layout, put your pictures on, put this with it, you got a page. So basically I took that idea. So what we did is you have this paper, you're cutting it out. You don't need this because I've given you the dimensions of this. So what we're going to do is cut out or cut the top off the Simple Vintage Lemon Twist Squeeze the Day, which is 12 or 15204, and it's got the bumblebees on it. Just a little tidbit of information. My brother has a hobby and he's a beekeeper. He lives at Momart, Saskatchewan, and he has bees in tons of fields. So our house always has lots of honey. And you'd think I would have had pictures to do on the bee pages, and I had none. So you cut off the header. Got that page there ready. So then you are going to take your ebony and lemonade piece of paper, which is in the basic kit that you got with this, which is 15:218, and you're going to cut a rectangle 8 7/8 by 9 7/8, which is this size on here. And I don't know what it is with math and this. I don't know, I always have a hard time with when you get into the 7/8. I like half, I like a quarter, 3/4, you know. Anyways, that is the exact size of this template. So I've given you the measurements of that template because you don't have the template. But if you want to buy the template, phone Corinne at 694-0700. And you can order it. There's, how many templates are there?
About 12 or 13.
12 or 13 templates.
Yeah.
That you can buy.
Yeah.
But if you were only buying one, you buy this one.
And then the other one is our next.
And this would be another bestseller.
Yeah.
This one.
That is the other bestseller.
Okay, so
And what's the number on that one?
this one, I'm just going to look at the number, guys. Is it up here? No, there's no.
Yep.
Design number 1?
Yep.
Oh, it's design number 1. Design number 1. You can tell I was inking around it. Okay, so I cut that out and I'm going to lay it this way, right there on that piece of paper. So we'll go ahead and do that. If you want to ink it, tape it, go ahead and do that. We'll just get that piece of paper on there.
Template is $6.
Oh, the template is $6. Are they all $6?
Yeah, they're
All the templates are $6. And there's how many?
about 12 or 13.
Well, there's 12 or 13.
You can go on Simple Stories website and see all the different templates that they have. They have a ton.
There you go.
And they're selling fast and they're selling very good.
I have quite a few of them. And I don't do what they say. I haven't got into buying all those extra pieces. You know, Corinne buys them because she's right here in the know all the time, right there. I just get the leftovers when they tell me about it. No, I'm true. Okay, so I'm going to, you know, I put this one in the middle when I did mine. If you want to put it over here, that looks cool. You know, it doesn't, you could go on this side and you could put something down here. Anyways, this is the way I chose to do it, was I put it basically in the center. So I took off one piece of tape.
As Trina wrote, Simple Stories has a great video on how to do them. And we'll be doing another one and putting it on our Facebook page as soon as we get a chance to do it. We were hoping for this week. I don't know if that will happen. And I have one up already, but that was just when we first got them. So I don't have all the templates to show at that time, because that was a few months ago. But we will be putting another one up. And as Trina said, Simple Stories does have one up already. So
Easy,
about the templates.
easy sneezy.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy sneezy, yep. Okay, so we got that on there. So basically, you're gonna have your two pictures. And so by doing this, I'm not gonna I didn't mat the pictures. So I put a 4x6 up here. So I put it on this way. Then I went to my, let's see, elements, which is the 4x4 elements. Which is, let's see, it is 15, 12, 13, 12, 13, which is right here. And I cut out this one that said be kind. So because I wanted to make sure, I cut it down to a 3x4. So I cut this out of there. And then I kind of just played around with it and until it fit like a 3x4 size. So I'm sorry, I can't give you the dimensions of how I cut that, but I mean, you'll figure this out. So cut that out of there. Now I need a 3x4. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just trying to fit it in there. So I cut obviously very close to the top of the B. And then I put it on here until I got 3 inches. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'll push it up there. So it looks like on the cutter, I have it just below there. So I've got 3 inches. So I cut from the top and the bottom. And that's going to fit in there. I'm going to put my picture here, which I don't have. I should have made a little template for you. But I'll just show you. I'm going to put my 6 inch there. So when you look at these, this is going to be the plastic is basically the space in between, right? There an inch, a quarter of an inch. So it's going to be there like that. Then I'm going to put another one of these pictures right here. So you're going to put a picture down here. And then you're left with this 3x4 down here. And you take the words happy, which is on the sticker sheet. Sorry, it's not on the sticker sheet. It's on your foam stickers. Happy goes down here. We've put, okay, so you're gonna have to do this part yourself and put the adhesive on. Memories goes down here, your picture goes here. You've got some bees, basically, guys. Once again, that easy. So I'm just gonna put that aside. You have no mats to cut on this one. And you're ready to go to the next one. So I'll give you a few minutes to tidy that up and put that away. You know, you'd think that I was selling for this company. I really love these things. You know what, one thing I forgot to mention, I put this here so I could show you. It doesn't matter what sounder you have. I just happen to have, of course, the Tim Holtz ones. If you use this paper from the basic kits. It is like the old paper that Tim doesn't sell very much anymore. And if you take this and sand it, it actually takes away the color on the paper, this particular, the basic kit paper, and it makes it look really vintage looking. So if you want your pages to look older, you could just run this stuff, like run that around the edge and make it look kind of aged. I'm just going to see if I have, okay, I have a little piece here. Like all you do is, now I'm going to hold it up for you. Can you see that? Can you see how that does that? Doesn't that look pretty? If you like vintagey stuff, I love that. I didn't do it on these pages, but yeah. Oh my, look at that. Isn't that great? Anyways, that's just a little tip, a little info if you need it. Shove that back in. Okay. So we are on to page 6. Look at that. There my kids are. This is one of the pictures that was taken minutes after they got engaged in the Yukon. And of course, they had no time except the time that Ty was off work. So I think she was working in emergency in one of the hospitals there. So she wasn't going to get days off just because Regan came. She was only, I think she was there for 3 weeks. She did 2 little stints up there. She was in Nunavut for 3 weeks and the Yukon for 3 weeks. Anyway, so there you go. We're going to do sweet. And we will start out, I'm just going to grab my papers, that aside. We're going to start out with your background piece right there. It is 15208, easy peasy is going to be your background. So we'll cut the top off, the header off, and we will get started. This one's got that, the cuts are easy once you run through it. It's just sometimes I think I write things, make it harder than it needs to be. So the other piece of paper you want is called 4x6 elements, which is 15:214. So you got this page right here, and you've got, I tell you, when I handed them when I handed Corrine this, your instruction paper, I just sketch in here. And so I sketched in this really poorly sketched flower here. And Corrine couldn't figure out how to make this. Obviously, I couldn't either. So I handed it to her and they didn't know how to do it. So they cut out my little hand sketch thing. It was atrocious. And Corrine said, well, here it is. And she had made all this stuff look nice. And I said, but why is my chicken scratch in the middle? And she says, because I can't figure out how to do it. And I said, well, neither can I. So now we got a problem because that looks bad. So it had to go back to the drawing board. So anyway, so this sits right in here. So what you want to do is cut that out. Don't cut the whole piece of paper apart. Cut it out so that it cuts out like, so you have this look. Okay. So if you turn it this way, so you're seeing it the way, so it's actually upside down to you. So you're looking at the black, you've cut this piece out. I'll wait, give you time to cut this piece out, okay? So cut this piece out and set it aside. On the layout, I tear this. So I'll go ahead and tear that while you guys are cutting out that piece. So I'm just going ahead and I just inked that piece and I'm going to tape it and set it aside. Okay, so by now you've got this little piece cut out. So set that aside. And now when you look at the instructions, it's a little bit confusing, but what you want to do is you're going to make your cuts. And can you see on the paper, you can see my pencil marks. I put them in there. Let's see if I hold it up, if you can see that. Can you see the pencil marks in there? You see it right there. So you're going to cut, according to the picture, you're going to cut 4.5 inches over this way and 6.5 inches this way. So you're going to cut that piece out because that is going to become your mat for your picture. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece out.
And what were the dimensions again?
4.5 by 6.5. So it's going to start right where you cut that out, because that's for that piece of that thing you cut out is 6 inches across. So we know that that's where you're going to start. Okay, so go. I got that up there. Okay, so that gives you a full thing left after. So then I'm going to go across 4.5 inches from that line. So I'm going to go there. And when that is cut, you're going to be left with an inch, at least an inch left here. So I've got 4.5 inches across here. I want to make sure that I got that right. Yeah. And I'm going to go down 6.5 inches. So 4.5, I'm going to go down 6.5 inches on my thing. I can see it right here. There you go. Then I'm going to turn my paper and get that cut in right there. So that is my photo mat for the picture, which I don't have. So you have two things cut out. Now what you have to do is turn this around, and you need a 1 by 6, you need a 1 by 12 actually piece left. So you're going to cut this one right there. You're going to cut that at 1 inch by 12. So I'm always second guessing myself that I'm telling you the right thing. So 1 by 12. So your piece of paper looks like this. And then you're going to take that 1 by 12 and cut it in half. So you have 2 1 by 6 pieces of paper. Okay. And I'll take the header off of that. Okay, so those are the cuts you need for the black piece of paper, the black polka dot piece of paper. I'm just going to set that aside up here. Okay, now we need to go ahead and we need, I believe this is 15207. I cut the header off. I don't know what this is. But this piece of paper, that's what it is cut 7 by 10. So that's an easy cut on. It's got the lemons on the back, this on the front. So you're going to cut that piece. I'll wait for you to cut that one piece while you're cutting. So you're cutting this piece of paper once again, 7 by 10. I'm just going to ink while you guys are cutting that piece of paper. This class, I kind of pre-cut some of the pieces just because I'm a little nervous, as my grandson would say, a little bit nervous about this, Grandma. And I know the first class I taught, I blame it on that I got the COVID shot the night before. Man, by the end of that class, I was feeling pretty bad. I went home and slept for 7 hours. And my husband says, like, were you that nervous? I said, no, but I thought I was going to pass out because I said, I don't know what hit me with that COVID shot. None of the other ones bothered me, but that one really did. That one, yeah. So I'm just, once that piece is cut, I'm inking those. Something you don't have to do. So once you cut that out, there is a right way and a wrong way on this, but it doesn't matter because no one can really read it. But if you get like really close and look, the writing goes a certain way on there. So that guy basically sits, I have it in the middle. So it's going to go like that. You're going to take your pieces that you have cut right here, and you just tuck them under some so you have a little bit of edge on either side. Those are going to tuck right in here, looking like you actually put the whole piece of paper under there, but you didn't. That goes on. Your photo mat sits on this side. Your picture You Are My Sunshine over here. This would be a great one for grandchildren. So another thing you could do on this is you don't always have to stay within your paper. So here's something you could do. Instead of cutting your photo mat like this, and to tell you the truth, you have a whole bunch more paper here, like at the black and white, or you could just use a black photo mat. And look at, once again, you could put, where's the one I love? You could put a little one here, and it could come above there, like a black photo mat will look gorgeous there, and another one down here. And so you could put 2 4x4 pictures on there. Or another way you could do it is you could put a 3x4, a 3x4, and a 3x4. That'd be cool. So look at how interchangeable these things are. You know, and I don't even think I thought of that because I was just so used to putting like a 4x6 or something a little bit smaller than a 4x6. But there you go, just like that. So you know what? I think we'll go ahead. Like I say, let's just do the basic. If you don't want to put this piece on because you like the idea of all those other ones, just hold off. So I am going to tape these and put them on. I was just rechecking to see if I'd actually used any of, and I don't use these 2 pieces. So yeah, you will have other paper if you don't cut that piece out of there. You would be able to make photo mats out of that. When I put this on, once again, I'm just going to take off the tape off the top piece, and then I won't lay it down until I have everything absolutely in order. I'll turn the piece around. And here's another thing, guys. I'm putting this kind of in the middle. You don't have to do that. You can put it higher, you can put it lower. But now that I've told you about that pictures, how many pictures you can put on, I might have done that next time, but I didn't know in the little picture cutters. Templates. That one. So I'm just eyeballing these in there. And actually, it's this one straight. See, it's stuck down there before I decided to get it straight. Okay, my photo mat there. There's my photo mat there. Put that one in for Teresa. I don't know when Teresa's going to find time to actually put these together. But she may carve out some time. That's in there. Okay, so you had all these pieces that were sitting up there, and at some point we cut off the ebony and ivory from the basic pack. So when you cut off the header on there, you know, and I told you, just keep things, just don't throw those things away. So there is a piece of the lemonade. And that is what we're using down at the bottom. And I believe it is, when you measure it, it is, if you cut it right to where the other, anyways, you'll get a 7-inch piece there. So I have that sitting down here at the bottom. I just cut it off, put it the other way. See, if you look on the back, it's that. It's the ebony there. You cut that, so you need that. You'll have this piece of paper on the other side because it's the top. So that goes in here. I believe that you're using a big sticker. There you go. And it is Sweet Life. I know it's on here somewhere. Right there. I use that sticker right on top. Over here, I believe I cut, I have to just, I'm gonna look. I put like pieces of, like I took this, but I took that piece off and I put it in here. I took the butterfly, put a dimensional on it and put it right here over in the corner. Those are all things that you can add if you want. I'm going to put those pieces on for Teresa. And there's the Sweet Life right there. I even ink these things. By the time I go upstairs every night, this finger is like, I look like the smoker. So set that in there. Then I take this flower, took this flower out of there. I cut off this part. That. There. Little butterfly right off the sticker sheet. Ink. Put a dimensional on. Pop that up. Put it there. So up here, I've got, show you on the original, I've got the foam stickers, I've got sweet, I've got happy day, I've got some butterflies. And then I have taken this saying, you make life sweeter. It's on a page. It's a 4x4 element. So I'm just figuring out which one it is. 15. Well, it says right on it. It's 15 to 13. So just hold it here. It's right here with the lemon. So I just cut that part out in the middle of the lemon. So if you're not going to use that for anything else, I put it down here. You make life sweeter. And guys, there's another page. So I'll let you work on that for a bit as I get this little mess straightened out, and we'll carry on with the next one. Okay, our next one is called Live Life with More Zest. We're going to do a 2-page layout. The cutting looks kind of terrible, but it's so very easy. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 pieces of white paper for the background. So you can just take those out and set it aside, and then we're just gonna do a lot of cutting for a bit here. So I gotta tell you about these pictures. So in these pictures, my grandson is just over 2 years old because he's gonna turn 3 in February. He's not afraid of heights or of dark or of anything else. Scares my daughter all the time with what he's doing. Anyways, my husband came in and Katie had decided she wanted to wallpaper one wall. So Keith was in there wallpapering it, and he's standing on the ladder saying, Grandpa fixed my wall, as if there was something wrong with his wall. Now, everybody that comes over, he takes upstairs and says, see, Grandpa fixed my wall. I mean, all Keith did was put up wallpaper. Anyways, let's get going on Fresh Squeezed. fresh squeezed is this piece of paper, 15-210 fresh squeezed. You want to take off your header off of this. So we'll go ahead and do that. Throw it up there in case we need it for something else. So fresh squeezed, I cut off the header there. We're going to use both sides of this for different pieces. So what we're going to do first of all, off of this side over here, we're going to cut a piece 11 inches long by 3.5 inches wide. We are not going to do anything with the 1/2 inch that's down here. So if you want to cut straight down, you can. So it's 3 inches wide, 3.5 inches wide, sorry. 3.5 inches wide. You're going to cut that down. You can cut it down 12 and just cut that 1 inch off if you want, or if you're really good cutters, which I'm not. You can cut it this way and then cut off your inch at the end. So there's your first cut. Then you need to take that same paper and you're going to make a cut that is 1 1/4 inches wide by 11.5 inches. So 1 1/4 inches wide. See, sorry, I'm following this right here. So we've cut this piece. We're now going to cut this piece 11.5 inches long and 1 1/4 inches wide. So I've got it 1 1/4. I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to invert it because I want it 11 inches long. So you got that piece cut. So this is, if you're looking at the instructions, this is your one piece, you invert it, and we're going to make a flag off of this one right there, just like that. Then we have, continuing on this piece of paper, so that just came off. I'm just going to invert it like this. Sorry, I'm going to leave, I have to cut it this way. So I need a piece that's 7 inches wide, which should be there. See, it's 7 inch, that's 7 1/4. That's what I want, sorry, 7 1/4. So what I need off of that is I need 7 1/4 by 1/2. I need a 7 1/4 by 1/2 twice. And then I need a 7 1/4 by 3/4. So we're just going to cut those off the bottom. So 7 1/4 by 1/2. Sorry, I can do it this way. 1/2. There's one. Another 7 1/4 by 1/2. 2. And then a 7 1/4 by 3/4. So there you go, 7 1/4 by 3/4. So you can set that piece of paper aside. So you should have all these pieces of paper cut now. Okay, so we'll make these into flags now. So I don't know any easy way to do it. I used to measure every piece and do whatever. Now I just take the piece and I fold it. Just give it a little fold at this end and and hope that I cut it the right way. Sometimes I've cut it the wrong way and I've had the thing going the wrong way. So obviously you want the outer edges cut off. So you go from 1/4 and you head right down to the corner. Like so. So if you want a narrower one, if you want a taller one, whatever. You go from here. So you start at the side that you folded and you head down there. head down to that corner. And you open it up and you got a flag. There, see, she says she learned something today.
That's awesome.
There you go. So this one, we cut the piece longer, so we want a little flag on it too. So we're gonna do the same thing. Make sure, guys, that you get this one cut at the right end, because otherwise your butterflies are gonna fly upside down, which isn't the end of the world, but you know. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna bend that in half right there. Start at the fold. And I'm gonna go down there. Just like that, open it up. And there's that flag is gonna sit right there, just like that. Okay, so then all of these pieces, no, sorry, I'm just gonna leave that aside for a minute. Okay, so set that aside because that's cut. Actually, you know, so we don't lose the pieces, I'm backtracking. Let's ink this piece, if you're inking, and get it attached to this so that it's together and you're not losing a piece. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna this together. I'm gonna ink this. You know, another thing, guys, is I'm just looking at it. If you wanted to invert it because you really like these butterflies, you could have done it this way. You could have inverted it and put the butterflies and just had that. I just happened to do it this way. So let's just go ahead. That you want them to end up together at the top. So I'm just gonna tuck this one on here. There, so that piece is together and we'll just set that aside. Okay, so now if you take your black cardstock, I did not make separate photo mats for this. I cut one piece at 7 inches by 12 inches. Then I took another one and I cut it 7 inches. Sorry, you got that right on top. 7 inches by 5 inches. So if you want to go ahead and cut those two mats, you want the 7 by 12 inches and the 5 by 7 inches, both out of the black cardstock, not the stuff from your basic package. This is cardstock that would have come with your package. So as you guys are doing that, I'm just going to ink pieces that we've already cut. So I'll wait for you to cut those pieces. So if you've cut those already, I'm just going ahead right now and I'm basically just taping all these little pieces we're going to have to put on anyways. So I'm going to set those aside. Okay, so you probably got these pieces cut by now. I'm just going to set all that aside. And now we're going to look at we have the 2 pieces of white cardstock, which is really hard to show you on white, but I've got the 2 pieces of cardstock. And I've got from the photo or the basic kit, doesn't fit in here very well. Okay, from the photo kit, I've got, or the basic kit, sorry, I've got Lagoon Cloud, so 15, 12, 17. And we are going to cut that now. So the directions are right here. You're going to cut 2 pieces, 1 inch, 1.5 inches by 12, 2 pieces that size. And then you're going to do 2 cuts at 1/2 inch by 12. So we'll go ahead and cut those, Matt. I'm going to cut that top off. I don't know why I always turn that. Okay, so we're going to have 2 pieces, 1.5 by 12. 2 pieces, 1.5, 12. And then 2 pieces, 1/2 inch by 12. Set that aside. I am going to just quickly ink up all these pieces. Okay, I'm going to tape those pieces. One thing I forget to do it myself, but you know, when you ink things, you got to be careful not to set it down, because now I have little brown pieces on this white paper. Well, you could turn it over, but I find that there's 2 pieces, there's 2 different sides to the paper, so got to remember to turn both pieces over, right? Okay. I don't know why I can't learn from that, because I do it a lot. Okay, so you know what? Basically, we are ready to build this page. So you got 2 pieces of paper side by side. You're going to take your longest black piece And it is basically going to go from one side to the other and just, oh, I better put some tape on it. And tape your other one. Because you want these guys to match up in the middle. This is actually a great big photo mat, as you can see. Okay, so I put my two pieces of white paper together and I'm going to put it right up here so you can see it. Kind of see it on white on white. Sorry, we have black underneath it, but this is what it is. So you're going to put one piece of photo mat, you know, kind of in the middle of from here to here. And your other photo mat is going to match it on the other side. So it, when you have these two pieces of paper together, oh, look at what I've done. I put them, you can see the color change because I put my my tape on the wrong side.
Oh.
Anyways, so you're going to have those two photo mats. So that is what you need to do first, is put them down. Do not put the tape on here. Just do the edges so that if we need to stick things under, which we can stick it under. So let's put that side down. That side down. Side down. That side. Okay, so we got those on. Now we're going to take that Blue Lagoon and we're going to put it across this side right at the top, but you're going to tuck it under a little bit. Just like that. If you feel uncomfortable with that, just put it on top. I tend to tuck things under. So let's get that piece on. I'm gonna have to stand up here so you can see the white on the white. Okay, I taped at the bottom, guys, not at the top, because I still have another piece that I need to put on there. But since I've got that in there, under there, I can now do this. Now on your other piece, you've got that other piece of paper. It's going to go the same way. So keep those pieces of paper close together, because you're going to put this one in and you're going to go right to the other side. So we're going to tuck that in. Matching those up. And going across. Then I can put this in there. Okay, so you've got those two pieces there. And then you've got the narrow pieces, and you're going to do the same thing, but this time I ran them right up against the black. So you're going to put those in just like that and run it right to the end. You know, guys, I just looked back at my original. I didn't tuck this under at all. Doesn't matter either way. But if you're looking at the original, I can see that I didn't tuck it back. So there, this is what it should look like at this point. Okay, so now we put in this long one. You're going to cut it so that it has a flag at each end. So you can cut that just like I showed you. Just invert it. So this is the bigger piece of those three pieces. You see my scissors? Oh, see, did you see that? I almost went the wrong way. I was going to have little points on either end. It has happened. So that piece is going to go down here. These pieces on one piece of this, you're going to make a flag at one end. So just fold that one piece and cut it. That piece is going to sit right up here, just sitting right on top, sorry, right here, right on top of the Blue Lagoon, right there. So that comes right up here. And then your other piece doesn't have a flag on it, and it is going to go on the other side. Okay, so you've got those coming together like that. That's sitting there, that's sitting there. So the next thing we want to do is, actually, we're going to stop for 1 minute, and we are going to cut out this sign that says "You're the sweetest," and it is on 4x4 elements 15:2:13. Okay, so see this one that we cut out that one piece out of there. So now you want "You're the sweetest" over here. Okay, cut that one out, gonna ink. Okay. Got a little bit of fussy cutting coming up here. So cut this out. Let's see, get this up here. So this is going to fit in right here. So that's why I wanted to kind of cut this out so I know that I'm going to fit that in right there. Okay. So the other thing we need to fussy cut is I have a little, I should show you on this. I've fussy cutted this out. And I just want to, it is 15:2:11 on the journal elements. Have to find that, 15:11. I'm getting to the point now I'm cutting off things, so I have to find them. 15:11, it's right down here in the corner. So you can fussy cut that out. So I cut that one out like that, and then I fussy cut it by hand. So I've got that. That is going to sit in. Just make sure I'm doing this right. That sits in here like this, like that. Trying to get the right dimensions here. So then down here, oh, you know what? There's one more thing you've got to, on your sticker sheet. Yeah, it's on the sticker sheet. You've got, wherever my sticker sheet is, I've put in live life with more zest. That's going to go in down here. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about, we're not finished yet, but is these pictures. So I put a 5x7 here, a 5x7, a 5x7. Now you could put all three of them in a row, but they're all going to touch. So what I did is I spaced my 5x7s on the corner, and then I chose the middle picture because I knew I could make that narrower so it would fit in and still leave space in between, so it looked like I had three different mats. If you take a look at my original, you can see that. See, these aren't mats, separate mats. It's the one mat, but I cut this picture narrower. So I think I just cut Grandpa out of this one. So the other thing we still have to do is we need to put this piece down at the bottom. So you've got that flag. And there's one more fussy cut thing you've got to do here. So I'm going to put that in. Okay, so you've got this little, under here, you've got this little piece here. And I believe it is on, oh, here's where my other mistake was. Where it says, right down here, it says 12 or 15, 12, 11 journal elements. And then in there, it says, use the journal piece from page 4, you cut out the bird. That's not right. Just omit that. Go to your journal elements 211, 15 to 11. So we've used this journal element and it's this one right here. The bird was over here. You want to take out this one and you're just going to fussy cut that little border in there. You want that piece. So I'm going to take that one and cut it. Okay, so you're going to cut this away here so that you're left with just a journaling type card, which we're not going to journal on, but you could. There you go. That card. Tape. That goes in like that. I put on one of the happiness stickers, I call them a little license plate. And you would have got a cutout of a camera. Now I gotta apologize because I had just gone around that with a little bit of white pencil crayon. But then last night before I came, I found this marker, which was a silver marker. I might have got it at Teresa's an awful long time ago. We don't have them in stock. Whether she could get them, I don't know. Maybe you have something in there. I just went over those pieces with this. So sorry I didn't do that because I only found the piece or that I only found that marker. So that goes on there. And that is another piece finished. You're going to put a sticker on, but that's it in a nutshell. I'm just going to stick that on there before I lose it. And we're going to go on to the last one. Now you guys have to go home and find a whole bunch of pictures and,
They're all home.
oh, sorry, you're all home. Teresa's going to have to find a whole bunch of pictures for hers. Okay. Okay. The last picture is called Live in the Sunshine. Man, you guys are going to get so sick of this kid. He keeps me entertained on a daily basis. Sometimes he's really bad. Ugh. So there it is. So he'd gone to the park and they live in Regina, and this is supposed to be for skateboarding. Well, he doesn't know how to skateboard because he's 2.5. So he laid at the top of it in the sun, and then he just would slide down it. He'd just push his body down and he'd go down like he was on a skateboard, but he was on his pants. And an older boy came by that day and he watched him do that. And he had a skateboard and he put his skateboard aside and laid beside Reed. And he was at least 5 years older. And they just went down this little thing together. So I thought, well, I got to scrapbook that. So anyways, our background is from the basic pack. It is number 15-16, Sunshine Ocean. So you can just go ahead, find that, and take off the information. What's the proper term for this? This piece that we cut off all the time? You don't know? You can call it, I guess, anything.
Title.
The title.
Title.
Information piece.
Yeah. Zip strip.
Yes, that's a good
That's
one.
what it is.
Is a zip strip? Well,
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
A zip strip.
thank you.
Okay, now I wonder how long it's going to take me to remember that.
I just wrote it down.
Okay, so you're going to, this is another one of the, let's cut a lot on one piece of paper. So on this one, you take off the zip strip. The zip strip, I'm gonna have to practice that. And you cut that off. And you're going to make a whole bunch of cuts. So once again, you're going to do a 7 inches down. No, I'm gonna get this right. 7 inches down by 5, 7 3/4 inches down by 5 across. Then you're going to fit in another piece, which is going to be 6 1/4 inches down and 4 1/2 over. And then you're going to have a piece that you're going to run across the bottom.
Opposite. 6 1/4 across. And 4 1/2 down.
Is that what I said?
No, you said opposite.
Okay, don't listen to exactly what I said. She's correcting me. So you're going to go 5 down, 5 across, 5 across, and 7 3/4 down. So let's make that cut first. 5 across and 7 3/4. So I've got that there. And then correct me when I go wrong here. I'm going to go 6 1/4 across.
Yep.
And then 4 1/4. So I'm just going to
4
cut it
1/2.
4 1/2. I'm just going to cut it 4 1/2 this way. And then I'm going to go 6 1/4 this way.
Mhm.
I don't know why that seems wrong to me. I don't know, guys. No, that's a photo mat. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got one piece of paper left like this, and you need to cut 10 by 2. So I'm just going to go. I don't think this is the most efficient way to do this one, but we're at the end, so it's scrap now. 2 inches, and then 10. You ever have those moments when you cut anything? Oh, I think I might have cut that one wrong. I have those moments. So this one, I actually just tore at the top, your longer piece. I tore at the bottom. Got those pieces aside, and then I need to get fresh squeezed, which I think we put up here in our little pile of stuff. We had this piece left. There's fresh squeezed on the back. And we need a piece that is 10 by 4. I hope this piece is 10 by 4. At least 10. Oh man, look at that. It is 10, just over 10. Good cutting. So 10 by 4. So we have all the pieces cut. That piece sits there. This piece sits right up beside it. Nope, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm overlapped. Sorry, don't sit it beside it. Overlap that. And then we're going to sit this piece, and I've got one more piece to cut out, guys. And it's a little element piece, and it's on 15 to 11, that page. And it's this one right here. So we want to cut that out because we're going to tuck that in behind. If you can see that, I tuck it in behind here. So we'll cut that piece out. Look at this, my cutter. I've cut so much that I need a new blade, but I never care if mine's a little bit raggy. Pardon? It does. It makes it look older. So this piece that I just cut out, see how it pops in, and but it pops over top of the back piece, and then I shove it in right up to that line, like that. Can you see that? So basically that piece sits together like that. Once again, you know, I'm just thinking, you could put a piece this way. Look at that. You could put a piece that way and put a smaller, maybe a 3 by 4, 3 by 3, 3 by 3. You could put a 4 by 4 and set it like that. That might be kind of cool. Anyways, the way I did the layout, it goes this way. So if you want to take those, everything else that's on here, guys, is stickers. Oh, but you know, here's another thing. It says sunshine. So I took this sticker off that said live in the, I'm just trying to find it. It's a 4 by 4 elements on 15/2/14. Where is that? $2.12. See, I've cut my tops off my things now. One of these. Okay, guys, I'm having one of those moments. I can't find it. Well, it's supposed to be on It's a 4, yeah. It's 15 to 14. It's that 4x4 elements. No, that's not 14. Okay, maybe you guys can find it. I can't find it. I can't put my hands on it right now, guys. Sorry. It's that 60s moment. It's here. I mean, I didn't cut it out of nothing. But I just can't find it at this moment. But it said more than this. But I put live in, and I think it's live in the moment. And I put live in the, and I just cut it out and I put it in the sunshine. So I think, Corinne, if you went through the, here. Thank you. So I'm going to tape those as Corinne is going to find out where that is. I told Corinne, I'm not going to have that moment. I know where everything is. I can't find that.
You put it aside somewhere.
Oh, well, guys, you know what it is?
It's on here.
It's where you cut, you
Right
have,
there.
I did have it, okay. It's right up here. You see this piece of paper? It says live in the sunshine. I cut out live in the sun. I cut out live in the, and then I use the big sticker thing for the sunshine. So you've already got it cut out in this little pile up at the top of your stuff. You probably all found it and we're just laughing because we were looking for it. Thanks, Corinne.
Tim on your Mario.
Oh, did you hear that? I'm the Tim, she's the Mario. Isn't that cute? Has anybody looked at the new houses Tim came out with? Where you can build a whole little village. Little is the operative word there. I bought them. I don't think I'll be doing it before this Christmas. Okay, so to piece it together, I've got all my pieces taped, I believe, yeah. You're gonna put down your your checkered yellow piece first. I put it closer to the bottom than the top, guys. Just because I have that black piece hanging out at the top. Put that down. I'm only going to tape the one side because I need to overlap that piece in next. So that is going to go like that. My long piece then will slip on top of that. I kind of all set these in here like this. So I kind of, yeah, then your yellow piece falls in So all you see left of this, you're going to set it so you have just this strip of bees. So it sits like that. And then your photo mat goes on top, like so. I took off of the foam stickers. I used this great big flower that goes in. You've got the live in the sunshine, sorry. Where I've already lost it again, guys. You know, it's up there. We have found it once. Anyways, that can go there. If you don't want to cut it apart, you want to just use the whole thing, you can just cut around the whole thing. I just really like these stickers. When I did these, I did this foam sticker, and then there's another one, and this single one here, and I just kind of right here, I kind of stuck it on top, so it was almost 3 high. I've got some of the bumblebees here. On the side, I put this is a good life, or the good life. Down here, I have the be happy. And that's the end of that page. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed today. And if you have any questions or want to order any of my favorite